What is up, everybody? Charlie here with JC3 Cards and Collectibles with my buddy Stu. And we are here today to share another card pickup show. Last weekend, we were at the Green Bay Card Show at a different venue this time. We were at the Green Bay Distillery. It was a pretty good venue for this. Nice size, nice surroundings. Just walking distance away from Lambeau Field and the Don Hutson Center where they practice. Busy show at times. You couldn't even walk through it all. But I had a table set up with my buddy Adam over at the Dollar Box and selling some dime box cards. I had a buyer come through and clear out a bunch of Brewers cards from me, so that was good to see. I went in, as always, I have a plan when I go in, and this time I was really looking for some MMA and some wrestling cards, things like that. Still looking to build up some hockey inventory. The show kind of went in a different direction for me, though. Didn't get a lot of any of those. I did get a little bit of wrestling. Didn't get any MMA. Didn't get any hockey. It was mostly football. And we got a lot of Star Wars this time. I cleaned the dealer out of all the Star Wars he had. So it was a good day overall. Over 300 cards. I averaged a little higher this show, mostly because of these Star Wars cards. That dealer didn't want to come down too much, but they were in good enough condition that I paid up a little bit. Averaged about 40 cents a card. So if you watch me normally, you know that I try to be anywhere from 20 to 30 cents a card when I leave a card show. Now I hit the dime box first, scored quite a bit out of the dime box, so I knew I had a little bit of room. And then I also had planned a second stop on the day at a private seller that I knew that I would be getting some vintage from at a pretty good price. So I knew I had a little bit of room on the day to spend a little more of the budget. So I did pay up a little bit for the Star Wars. I paid up a little bit for some wrestling cards. It was a dealer I've seen a number of times. And I thought, oh, let's give him a shot this time, see what he's got. Had some nice things, but he was pretty much selling retail price, which doesn't really work well for me. So I tried to skim off the bottom, all the $1.25 cards he had listed and get a deal for that. I did talk him down a little bit, probably around 80 cents a card. That's kind of where I was with the Star Wars as well, I think. So really wasn't able to save a lot of room on those, but I didn't buy a ton of the wrestling cards either. Just because I knew the value wasn't going to be there. And I also know that I probably don't want to work with that dealer again because they're looking to sell them at eBay prices and I need to buy them at card show prices. Nice guy, though. I enjoyed talking with him. Also, didn't really care for his setup. He had everything in binders, so I had to page through these binders. And then when I wanted a card, I had to dig it out of the sleeves in there and stuff. So wasn't really my favorite. He also individually priced every single card, which that to me is kind of a dead giveaway that this might be someone a little more invested in their cards or taking the kind of time to individually price every single, dollar box card. They're spending a lot of time on that. And if they're spending a lot of time on it, they probably have a little bit more emotion into it. So, yeah, I went through with it. I spent a little time. So I was like, all right, I got some sunk time in this. Let's finish it out, see what we can salvage. And I did. So those the Star Wars and the wrestling brought up my show average up a little bit. But again, I knew I was making a private deal stop afterwards where I got thousands of cards for pennies. So on the day I did really good. I'm kind of excited to show the vintage cards I got on the private sale, and I'll do that in another video because we've got more than enough here today to go through everything. What I thought I would do is, since I have quite a few cards to go through, I thought we would randomize what we go through first, and I am going to use this here picker wheel. So we've got a stack of football, a stack of Star Wars, some baseball, some basketball, and some wrestling. What are we going to go through first today? Let's go ahead and spin that wheel. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, no one knows. And we are going to start with, oh my goodness, we're going to start with wrestling. That is not where I thought we'd be. I thought we would hopefully end up starting with football or baseball. But the picker wheel has spoken. We're going to start with some wrestling cards, and we will start right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. If it's your first time here and you like what we're going to cover today, give us a subscribe so you get notified when we get more content out there. If you watch this and you enjoy it, smash that like button so I know this is the type of content you like to see. We're a small operation here at JC3 Cards and Collectibles, and we're a family business. My wife and my two sons all get involved in the business as well. Of course, we got Stu back here keeping an eye on all of us. We do this part-time on the side, kind of building a business. We're closing in on 1 year in business now, and we get bigger and bigger every day. But we really enjoy the work we're doing with this. We'd be messing with cards every day anyway. So why not make a little bit of business out of it as well, right? All right. So before we took that short break, we went to the picker wheel, and the picker wheel said, you guys are going to start with wrestling cards today. So I do have a stack of wrestling cards ready to go. I am gonna, let's see, I'll get our camera ready to go here because we've got quite a bit, and I'll take wrestling off of our picker wheel for the next turn. Get that ready. All right. So I'm going to switch over to the card cam, and we are going to start digging into some of these cards today. There we go. So right off the bat, one of my favorite wrestlers in the 2000s, maybe a little bit in the late 90s as well. We've got a couple of cards from Topps, Allen and Ginter. These are from, gosh, what year is this? I want to say this is like 2021. Yeah, 2021. Let me look at the back of this one. Look at that. That is like some kind of promo or redemption card too. The Godfather, you have just received an Allen and Ginter card from 2021 Topps Heritage WWE. So Allen and Ginter, I'm guessing, was an insert in that Heritage set, because I see the Heritage sets, but I had not seen the Allen and Ginter WWE cards before. So here we're starting off with the good old Godfather in the Ho trade. He was quite the sensation during his run. Now, the gentleman who played this character in WWE also did a number of other characters. The one that pops to mind right now is Kama, the Ultimate Fighting Machine, or something like that. But the Godfather was the top one for me. I think that had the longest run. He would parade out to the ring with a long entourage of pretty ladies. And they'd all get in the ring and dance a little bit. Of course, watching that, I'm in, probably my 20s, so I enjoyed that quite a bit. So, the Godfather. Next up, we got Razor Ramon. Again, one of these inserts for Allen and Ginter. A couple of legends there. The bad guy, Chico, Razor Ramon. We've talked about him before in some of my other pickups. Just love the character. He'd throw the toothpick at the announcer all the time after he was done talking to him. Just oozing machismo, as he said. Hall of Famer, unfortunately passed away in the last year, I believe. But when I get WWE cards, a lot of times I'm looking for those Hall of Famers, bigger names. This time in particular, since I knew I was paying up a little more, I was slightly more selective. I would say every wrestling card I got at this show, I had a purpose on. So here we got a Butch. This is Butch, otherwise known as Pete Dunne. The reason I picked up a Butch is because my son is a good fan of Butch, and I enjoy his work as well. He's not as big as a lot of the other wrestlers. He's kind of a short guy like me. Had a great run in WWE UK, then had a really good run in NXT, but he's just not big enough to be on the big stage with some of the monster wrestlers they have right now. So he's a great wrestler in the ring. Just the look isn't enough to match up with, guys like Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Like, just he looks too. I guess there's an argument to say that styles make fights, right? And David and Goliath, every once in a while you have a good run doing that. Like Daniel Bryan made a career out of that. But with Butch, I think he's been more of kind of enhancement help. He helps make other guys better. So anyway, Butch is a character he ran the last year or two. He's now gone back to Pete Dunne, which is where he had the most success. So I picked up a Butch card mostly just because we're a fan of him in the house. It's an Ivy Nile rookie card. She is now starting to make some moves on the main roster in the women's division, part of the Diamond Mine faction. We got a Nia Jax rookie card. So she is back in the WWE and in some storylines right now, if I can get that to sit nice. Sometimes on those Chrome cards, they want to spin a lot. So I'm not a huge fan of Nia Jax, but since it was a rookie card and storylines are coming back for her, I thought that was a good investment. WCW All-Star Arn Anderson, one of the original Four Horsemen in WCW and NWA, I believe, too. Unfortunately, passed away in the last month or two. Legendary wrestler. I never got to the pinnacle of superstardom like some guys, but he was both in front of the camera and behind the camera instrumental in the success of a number of promotions. We've got a Gold Dust card, Superstar. I don't think that's an insert. Let me take a closer look. Yeah, that's not an insert. Looks like it's from like an archive set though. I recognize that design from some of the baseball cards. Gold Dust is the son of legendary Dusty Rhodes and the brother of Cody Rhodes. I believe he's active in AEW right now under his name Dustin Runnels, yeah. But he had a great run in the WWE. Hilarious too. He had this storyline once where I don't remember what happened. Like he got shocked by some of the equipment there, and then he had this stutter for the longest time that he would overemphasize. He did some crazy stuff. It was the Attitude Era yet, like the end of that Attitude Era. They got away with a lot more stuff in that time. We got a Kane wrestling card. Kane wins a Till Death Do Us Part match. So this is after Kane got rid of the mask. The big red machine used to always have the red mask on. So they finally let him take it off. We got a record breaker card for the Honky Tonk Man. I'm a Honky Tonk Man. Longest Intercontinental Championship reign. This was top of mind when I saw it because Gunther just surpassed him this past year and broke a new record. But a lot of people still remember the Honky Tonk Man. He was pretty iconic. Speaking of Dusty Rhodes, I picked up his legend card as well. The Rhodes family is a royal family in wrestling, just like the McMahons, in my opinion. One of my favorites from when I was a kid, the Junkyard Dog. Loved the Junkyard Dog. He used to pal around with Hogan a lot. He was a prominent character on Rock and Wrestling on Saturday mornings as well. We got another Dusty Rhodes card, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, in the tie-dye there. We got the beautiful Miss Elizabeth, longtime valet for Randy Macho Man Savage. Ooh, yeah! Then we go into some of my favorite Revolution cards. I love the Revolution set. So here we have a Pete Dunne, going by the Pete Dunne name. We've got a Santos Escobar, a wrestling royalty from Mexico, actually. His family, I believe, has a long list of popular wrestlers in Mexico. I'm going to switch out a little bit here. One of my old favorites, the APA, the Acolyte Protection Agency. Farouk had the best one-word line ever. And something would happen, and he would just look at the camera and say, "Damn." And if you watched it, you'll probably remember these guys like to do little vignettes where they were playing poker, and they would set up a doorway in whatever arena they were in. They weren't in a room. They just had a framed door that they would put up, and then you had to go through the door. It was pretty hilarious. All right, another wrestler that we lost too soon here. We've got a Bray Wyatt SummerSlam card. Bray died early last year from some heart issues. I think they were brought on by a bout with COVID as well. He had, when you look back at the career of Bray Wyatt, he had a strange run in the WWE. He was let go once, then he was brought back. He did some really far out characters. He had the Funhouse character for a while. That was almost like a Pee Wee Herman thing. He had the cult leader thing going on. It always reminded me of, Cape Fear, the old Robert De Niro movie. Well, I think the Robert De Niro movie was a remake of an original one from the 60s or 70s. But that was kind of the character, kind of creepy, always trying to be in control type of character. Eater of Worlds, they called him. But they never let him... It always felt like he was constantly being held back or controlled. So, interesting run. He certainly had a lot of success. The Fireflies were big fans. I know I've been at events holding up my phone as a Firefly. Then we've got the Olympic hero, Kurt Angle. It's true. It's damn true. Actually ran into Kurt Angle at the Green Bay Card Show a couple months ago at the KI Center. He was doing a signing at an event after the card show. And I was sitting there digging in a box, and he walked by me on his way to that event. And I turned around, I'm like, it's true. And then I've got two of these. Always good to have a little bit of volume if it's a good card. We got The Undertaker in his Big Evil days. Big Evil, Red Devil. That's an AKA card. So that was, he had left behind the Undertaker type of garb. And then he went for years coming out on his Harley. He'd ride around the ring. And he was just called Big Evil. He was still known as The Undertaker. Never lost that moniker. But it kind of transitioned into Big Evil for a number of years. And then eventually they brought it back for his last year or two. Old school Undertaker. So those are our wrestling cards for the day. Like I said, not a real big batch. What do I got there? Maybe 30 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. It's not even 20 cards. I think I got 20 cards there. So it wasn't a banner day for wrestling for me. Like I said, I had the dealer ended up having me pay up a little bit. So I also limited my buying on them. I mean, that's really all you can do, right? Is if you're not getting the prices you want, you're not going to buy as much. So we will go back to our picker wheel and let's see what we're going to go through next. The picker wheel is ready to go. We took wrestling out of there. let's see what we're going to dig into next. All right. Round and round, round and round. We had a false stop. Football. We're going to go into football next. Well, that is fine by me because I've got a big old stack of football. And it's going to take us a while to get through that. Football is, well, looking at the stack, it is by far the biggest stack of cards that I bought on the day. So like I said, it's gonna take a little time to go through, but that's okay. I got some good stuff in football. Excited to go through that, and we'll be back in just a minute to check it out. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us here. You know, it's a Friday night for me right now, and I was thinking today, Friday nights 20 years ago, what would I have been doing? Well, I'd probably been going out to the bars or the clubs and trying to raise some hell, have a few drinks, and get a little crazy. Now, what do I do for fun? Well, I go through a bunch of cards with all of you, my friends, and take a look and see what we pick up at card shows. So it's changed a little bit, but hopefully you noticed I've got a little music reminiscent of the old days going in the background to think about those Friday nights. Got as close as I could get to a little techno music in the background there. So hopefully you're enjoying that. All right, we visited the picker wheel right before our break. And the picker wheel said that we are going to go through football next. Biggest stack of cards I have today. That was the bulk of my buys on the day. I got a lot of volume buys, meaning I picked up multiple copies of the same card quite a few times, actually. And that's good, right? Because then I can sell volume sales on a single card. And what that does then for me too is then as I go to the next card show, I kind of know in the back of my head, oh, I've got a bunch of these cards already. I don't need any more of those. Or I know that, oh gosh, I just sold like 5 of those. Let's pick up some more of those if we see them. You know, it kind of gives you a gauge of how hot of a seller they can be. What kind of market is there for them? So I like buying quantity buys of the same card. So we're going to dig in football right now. I'll switch over to the card camera. All right, we're going to start off with some Pinnacle action-packed. I think most of these are 95. Are they 95 or 96? 1995. I guess, to be fair, not all of these are the same year. Let's look at this one a little bit closer. This is actually a 93 Jim Harbaugh. So I did get multiple years. I've grown an affinity for action-packed. And there seems to be a pretty good buyer group out there for action-packed as well. Let's see. I've got some 92 here. I've got some 93. I've got some 95. And more 93. So I think we said that one that we've got up there is a 93. So let me see if I can keep these together. 93, 93, 93. Yeah. So anyway, we got a Jim Harbaugh, who is in the news often, head coach of Michigan. At least he was, as they won another national championship. I know he was interviewing for some NFL jobs. I don't recall hearing if he got one or not, where he landed with that. But anybody whose name is on the TV or in the news a lot, for me, that means a good opportunity to buy and sell. So I picked that up, and it's a card set that I really enjoy. Next up, we've got a 93 Rick Meyer. Got that gold finish on there, first round draft pick icon on that. So they had a whole draft series. These next couple of cards are all from that draft series. Rick Meyer, not a ton of hobby on him, but if you're a Seattle fan, I bet you have some fond memories of Rick Meyer and remember him getting drafted. And that's kind of what we cater to in our store sometimes. It's not all the Hall of Famers, it's not all the big names. I try to think about, when I'm sourcing cards for the store, I try to think about guys who were hometown heroes, so to speak. That fans of the Seattle Seahawks think of guys as being, how do I say this? Sometimes as a hometown fan, like I'm a fan of the Green Bay Packers. I'm a huge fan of Edgar Bennett. Edgar Bennett is never going to be in the Hall of Fame. Okay. I think he made a couple Pro Bowls. I don't think he was ever all pro. There's a select group of people that think as fondly of Edgar Bennett as I do. And I think Rick Meyer is one of those guys where if you're a diehard Seattle Seahawks fan, you're like, heck yeah, I want some Rick Meyer cards. If you are a New York Giants fan, you probably don't care at all about Rick Meyer, right? So will I buy 100 Rick Meyer cards? Absolutely not. Will I grab 2 or 3 here and there if it's the kind of card I like? Absolutely, and that's what I did here. Same kind of thing here with this next card, and I actually have 2 copies of this. Natron Means with the San Diego Chargers. We'll raise that up a little bit just to get that name in the light for a second. Natron Means, second round draft pick. And then San Francisco 49ers, first round draft pick, Dana Stubblefield. Great player for the 49ers for a number of years. I had a guy recently looking for a specific insert and was looking for a Dana Stubblefield as well. Kind of stuck out to me that I had people asking for Dana Stubblefield, so I'm like, I will definitely pick that up. Then I've got so this one's a little unique. This is a 1992 Thurman Thomas. I'm going to show you the back first. This is a Braille version. I've never had one of these before. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know it was a Braille version until I got it home and I looked at it closer. Because when I was digging it out of the box, I mostly just looked at the front and said, heck yeah, I want a Thurman Thomas. He was a great running back for the Bills during his time. So I picked him up. And then I've got a 95 Kerry Collins. I've been on kind of a little bit of a Kerry Collins kick lately. I grabbed, so this is his rookie card for Action Pack. I've grabbed a few other rookie cards of Kerry Collins just because I've been able to get them cheap. Like I said, I've been hitting dime boxes pretty hard at the start of shows lately. And I will find Kerry Collins rookies out there. Again, not a huge buying market, but there are going to be some Penn State fans and some Carolina fans that are going to be looking for a Kerry Collins card every once in a while just because of the memories. And I'm going to give them an opportunity to buy them from my store. All right. We're going to switch gears to another set here. And went on a little bit of an Aaron Donald run. So Aaron Donald is to me, he's a surefire Hall of Famer. Defensive players don't get a lot of love, but Aaron Donald is a game wrecker, a game changer. Offensives have to game plan around him. Guys like that, I don't care if they're offense or defense, I'm going to buy them. So like I said, I hit a little run of Aaron Donald. Here's another card. Again, playoff set. This is 2019 score. I got 2 copies of this Aaron Donald. A little bit of a hollow finish on it, so that's always nice. And then one more Aaron Donald. And I love the epics. I think they look good. I've sold a few of them. In fact, I think I've sold some epics Aaron Donalds, as a matter of fact, because I find them a lot, and they turn. So pretty nice there. Again, defensive guys, take it kind of easy on them. But if you find the right guy, you can definitely find some profit. All right, I'm going to switch out my stack. Then, for whatever reason, this card show, I felt like I want to get more Rob Gronkowski. So I got quite a bit of it, probably too much. Let's see, we've got All-Pro card there from Topps. We got a 2019 Don Russ. These are all going to be base cards for the most part. We've got a Panini 2012 Absolute. Nice image there, Patriots days. Then we got 2 copies. Actually, let me see. This might be another. Yep. Got 2 more copies of this one. So we got a little bit of a volume play there. Then we got a Panini. Let's see. Panini. Base Panini. Panini. Sounds like a song or a singing group like Milli Vanilli. So more Patriots, Rob Gronkowski. We got a 2019 Prestige Rob Gronkowski. We got 2 copies of this 2019 Score. Again, like the Patriots days of Gronkowski. Got 4 copies of this 2013 Score Gronkowski. Again, in the Patriots days. Then we've got another Score. So scores were popular at this show. 2014 Score. The Hot 100, Rob Gronkowski. So a little bit of an insert, or at least a variety play there. We've got a Future Franchise 2013 Score. So again, I'm not sure if that's an insert or a variety. I tend to lean more towards variety. Remember the old days of cards where there really weren't that many inserts? It was the base cards would have subtitles on them, so a subset or variety you would call it. I think that's kind of what they still mimic in some of these sets. Then we got 3 copies of this 2013 Absolute Gronkowski. I love the logo, the Absolute logo, and the copper or bronze there, whatever you want to call it. Nice image of him coming off the line, I believe. He's still elevating out of his stance. Probably, some of his prime days there in 2013. And then we also got a Strata. I really like Strata. This is a 2012 Rob Gronkowski Strata from Panini. Pretty nice design there. And then the last Gronk card I got is a 2012. What is this set? Oh, this is Crown Royale. So not the old die cut Crown Royale. Panini did a base card Crown Royale. I will take the die cuts over this any day, but still a nice looking card. So I picked that up as well. So quite a few Gronkowskis here. Gosh, about 20 Gronkowskis. I should be pretty well set on Gronk for a while. You won't see me buying any more at any shows. Now, up next, I hit on some DeAndre Hopkins. And this was an interesting one. So I've got 7 copies of this Panini Score 2019 All Hands Hollow Finish DeAndre Hopkins. And what was interesting is I thought I had all the same. And sometimes you're trying to get through a box so fast, you don't really pay as close attention there. Stu's trying to get away from us here. I got to bring him back. But I got home and I was like, oh, well, there's a red parallel in there too. So you can see the All Hands is in red. It's got the red border on it. Same image, but we got a red parallel there. So always nice to have some of those parallels as well. And again, this was probably out of that 10-cent box. I spent my first hour in a 10-cent box, and then I think I was in a quarter box after that. And then I only really stopped at maybe 2 to 3 more tables on the day. I really limited my work to just a couple of select tables, and that was it. But I wasn't done with DeAndre Hopkins. I also then got 2 copies of this 2018 Score Sidelines DeAndre Hopkins. D-Hop, again, he's an iconic receiver. He's a game changer. I think there's a good chance he ends up in the Hall of Fame as well. It will be interesting to see where his career goes from this point, right? But during his time at the peak, because I think he's starting to come down. At the peak, he was another guy. You had to plan for him. He was a game wrecker. Defensively, you had to know where he was all the time, and you had to have two people on him. That's what I thought of him. All right, then another two buy. So 2 copies of 1993 playoff rookies, Robert Smith. So you Ohio State Buckeyes fans and Minnesota Vikings fans, you are going to probably enjoy this card more than me. But that's why I got it. I know that Robert Smith has a pretty good following, pretty decent sized fan club, if you will. So I picked him up to service that market. It's not all about what I like, right? It's about who do others like? My buyers, who do I think they're going to be interested in? So, all right, here is one that is about what I like, though, because sometimes it is about me. So I think this, it's kind of fine print. Let me see here. This is a Skybox Impact, and I think it's a 95. This is 2 copies of Tony Baselli, rookie card in his USC uni, rookie for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I am on a personal quest to make linemen matter again. Spoken like a true lineman coach in football, right? It's a position I played. It's a position I've coached the majority of my coaching days. So I really look to get some linemen some love when I'm buying cards, and they do sell. They don't sell like a Tom Brady, but they will sell. I am definitely not the only one that has some love for both offensive and defensive linemen. So you saw the Aaron Donalds before. I'll do some Warren Sapp. Now you're seeing Tony Baselli. And you'll see, I'm pretty sure I've got some more linemen in here before we are done today. All right. Up next, I've got 2 copies of the old Sport Flicks, 1995 Pinnacle Sport Flicks. Got the pinwheel design there. Let's see if we can get them moving for you a little bit. So you got the double pinwheels, the lenticular design. So they will spin on you a little bit. I love that set. I think it's fun. You can see the Falk name is also lenticular, designed to move a little bit on you. Doesn't come up as well on camera, but there I can see it on my end. There's a small Falk, and there you can see it a little bit. There's a small Falk label there, and then there's the big one. So I just think that's really cool. It's early technology when you think about it, 1995. Today they can do some really cool things, but I do like these older cards where you can start to see where the card business was headed. And this was a Rolling Thunder. I believe that's an insert. Let me look at the back and see if the name or the ID. Yeah, 3 of 12. So that would have been an insert set. So very nice. I'm a big Marshall Falk fan too. That's from his days with the Colts. Then we got a couple minis here, die cut minis at that, which is a win. We got Corey Dillon of the Cincinnati Bengals, a little rookie classic. Love this design. I have not seen it before. It's one I was not familiar with it. I will buy this every time I find it in the future. I don't care who it is. I just think this is really cool. You got the yard marker there. You got the die cut design. It's I would say it's a little bigger than your standard mini, but it's certainly smaller than your standard 3.5 by 2.5 or whatever it is. Just really cool design. I need to find more of those. Let's see, what year are those made? So those are Fleer, and they are 1997. I'm going to have to keep my eyes out for that. I might even collect that. I think it's so cool. And then I stayed on the die cuts. I got a few more die cuts. New regime insert. So this is Collector's Edge, 96 Collector's Edge. Here we've got a Kerry Collins. I told you I was on a Kerry Collins kick with the Panthers here. And you can see President's Reserve badge here. If I flip it over, you can see that is serial numbered as well. So again, I think the majority of this came out of a 10-cent box. If it didn't come out of the 10-cent box, it came out of the quarter box. So some pretty decent buys there at the show. Then I got 3 copies of my man Tony Baselli again. So there you go, giving those linemen some love again. New Regime, President's Reserve, all of these are serial numbered as well, out of 12,000. So die cuts, I try to make that a focus in our store. 2 things that I try to focus on and have a good supply of: die cuts and acetate cards. And so far, I think it's going pretty well. But those are 2 types of cards that I'm going to buy up pretty quickly when I come across them. All right, then I decided I need to build up some Dan Marino. Dandy Dan Marino. I've got a couple of Dan Marino cards, but not a lot. I actually have a nephew who sold me some cards, and he's a big Dolphins fan since he was just a little guy running around. And he held back all the Dolphins on me, or not all the Dolphins. He held back all the Marinos on me. And that's part of why I don't have a lot, because he was holding out on me. So I thought it's time for me to get some of my own Dan Marinos. So I've got about 20 cards here of Marino that came out of this show. We got a 1997 Players Party Dan Marino here. Who made that? Is that Collector's Edge? That's Upper Deck. Oh, we got a card down. Dan Marino's pretty spry in his older age yet. He jumped right out of my hand. That's crazy. Then we got a Star Rookie Flashback. 83 Flashback card. Again, Upper Deck. Dan Marino. That's pretty cool. I don't have his rookie card. I don't know if I ever will. That makes some of these flashback cards kind of nice. You can still get the image and learn a little bit more about it. Then we've got a 97 Fleer Blitzkrieg insert. It's funny, I've listed a lot of Brett Favre this week. With the scanner, I just scanned this whole big box of Brett Favre I had. And I was really admiring his Blitzkrieg card. The lighting's not great on this image. There you go. You can kind of see the bright colors of the Blitzkrieg there. So nice surprise to find one for Marino as well. So the Fleer Ultra. We got a 96 Pinnacle Dan Marino Double Disguise. Nice design there. I like the shadow behind that. I probably didn't even notice that when I picked it out of the box. I'm just noticing it now. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen something like that before. All right. Then we've got an Upper Deck. This is a 1998. Kind of an unassuming card at first. But this is a Playmakers. I believe that's a parallel. So this little badge here has got a texture to it. It's indented into the card, so there's a border here. And then this is almost like a mint on the Playmaker. And on the back, we've got a serial number out of 5,500. So can't knock, 10-cent serial number Dan Marino. I'll take that all day, right? And then that wasn't enough. That was not enough for me on my Dan Marino hunt. So then we got another 98 Upper Deck. And this one is some kind of SP parallel. So that same kind of indented badge on it. Flip this one over. And serial numbered out of 2,500. So by today's standards, is 2,500 anything to get too excited about? Not really. But when you consider the amount of cards they were printing in the 90s, 2,500 is actually saying something. That's kind of a deal. I mean, I'm not going to get hundreds of dollars for that card, but it certainly makes it more desirable than a lot of these other base cards, right? So very cool on that. The old number 13. We've got a Frank Fleer 97 Fleer Skybox Mini. I kind of like this set. I've got a number of cards from this. It just gives me a lot of nostalgia. Another shadow print there. It's like that 3/4 size mini as well. These were in the G'day 96, 97 G'day sets. I like the history of cards in the game. So always cool to me when I get some of those. Then we got a Pacific Invincible Dan Marino. Kind of a cool idea and design there as well. Almost like what is that material I'm trying to think of? A sack. You know those sacks, like a potato sack that you have a sack race in? That border kind of reminds me of that for some reason. Then we got a little bit of shiny stuff. We got an SP Authentic from Upper Deck. This is, gosh, I can't really read the year on it. My eyes are getting so bad. 98, I think. Maximum Impact, SP Authentic, Dan Marino. Nice little shiny finish on that. Early predecessor to Chrome cards, right? A 1996, I believe. This is a checklist card. So we got an unmarked checklist here for Pinnacle. So if I flip it over, we got 96 Pinnacle Chase Program. So we've got Marino, we've got Favre, we've got Barry, and Michael Irvin there, is it? Let's see. It's a cowboy. Doesn't look like 22 Emmitt Smith. It really doesn't look like Michael Irvin to me either, but the number on the jersey, you just see that little corner. It looks like it would be an 88. So I'm going with Michael Irvin. I haven't really looked at his image that much lately, but I think that's that foursome on there. That makes that a pretty cool card. I'm going to have to look that one up a little bit. Seems to be in pretty good shape. Like many cards from the 90s, under the right light, you can see a little bit of that edge is a little bit fraying there, but I would put that out in excellent condition. No second guessing that. Like, I think that's a really nice card. Then we got a Collector's Edge MVP Dan Marino. This is from 96. Shiny chrome-like card. Move this over a little bit. Give our friend Stu a little room. Yeah, so again, those early, you can see the MVP logo up here. If I tip that a little bit, you can see it better. Then I got a couple cards of Skybox Impact. I got 3 copies of Skybox Impact Boss. This is an insert set. That's number 15 of 20 in that insert set. So they call it Boss because if you could run your finger around this, over this, it is embossed. The image is raised up out of that, and I'm a big fan of embossed cards. That's part of what I like about the Action Pack set. Topps Embossed, another set that I'm a big fan of. Even though the gold and the silver versions of Topps Embossed, you can't hardly see the player in my opinion, but I love the embossed look. They just went a little overboard on those finishes. Then we've got a Collector's Edge You Crashed the Game Dan Marino, November 25th. I don't remember how that game worked. It must have been something to do with specific games that they would list that November 25th. If you remember what that contest was all about, go ahead and put that in the chat for me. Although I'm cheating, I'm looking at the back. Collect your favorite NFL superstars You Crashed the Game card. Watch and see if the player on this card scores or passes for a touchdown on the date listed on the front of this card. I guess I can just share it with you. If this player scores or passes for a touchdown, then sign this card and mail it. And it looks like you get some kind of redemption card. Yeah, we'll send you a really cool, super premium You Crashed the Game card of the player on the front of this card. So somebody's probably walking around with a really cool You Crashed the Game card, because Dan Marino pretty much passed for a touchdown in every game he played, from what I remember. 4 copies of this next one then, and I'm going to spin it around because it's a horizontal. This is Upper Deck. let's see here. Let's see if I can get this back out here without creating a big mess. There we go. All right. Superpowers. Oh. Excuse me. Snuck up on me. Woo! Must have brought a little bit of the card show home with me. All right. So we've got a Upper Deck Superpowers. So we've got a dual image of Dan Marino. Looking at the back on this one, I am 100% certain I have not seen these cards before. They're kind of new to me. I think it's a 1998. Yep, 1998 Upper Deck Superpowers. Nice finish on those cards. Like I said, I got 4 of them, so there'll be a volume play available there. Kind of pixelated on the left and the right. Huh. That's kind of interesting the way that is. Pixel art, if you will. So a nice little Merino stash. Like I said, needed to build some up in the store. Some opportunities presented themselves, and I jumped on it. That's what you do. You take what's available, right? I also went on a little Garrison Hearst run. So we've got 4 copies of this Garrison Hearst playoff rookie, 1993 rookies, in his Georgia uni. Garrison Hearst was a heck of a player for the 49ers. I remember lots of fantasy points came out of Garrison Hearst in his day. So again, there's going to be 49er players that have fond memories of Garrison Hearst. So to me, it's worth having a couple of them in my store. Another volume play here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies of Mr. Ed McCaffrey. This is a Fleer 91 Ultra Rookie. Ed McCaffrey drafted, it looks like, with the Giants. I forgot about that because I know Ed McCaffrey from his Denver Broncos days. And if you are younger than me, you're probably thinking to yourself, I wonder if he's related to Christian McCaffrey. And you would be correct. This is Christian McCaffrey's father, I believe. Unless I'm way off base. But I'm 99.9% sure that this is CMC's dad, Ed McCaffrey. Prolific wide receiver for the Denver Broncos when he paired with John Elway. The Ultra Rookie insert set. Like I said, 4 or 5 of them there. I think with the fantastic work that Christian McCaffrey's doing, I think just naturally a little bit of that rubs off to his father's market here with Ed McCaffrey. So I'll play a little bit in that. Wasn't done with Garrison Hearst. We got a 93 Pinnacle Select, 93 rookie card. Again, Garrison Hearst. Now, I told you that we probably were not done with linemen yet. And this next card is proof of that. This is a 1994 Upper Deck Electric Lincoln Kennedy with the Falcons. Lincoln Kennedy, fantastic offensive lineman. He played with a number of teams before his career was done. I don't really remember which team he was best known for. I want to say, did he play with Seattle as well for a number of years? Or maybe that's where he really blossomed in a perennial all-pro. But these electric parallels are always nice. I think they're parallels. Let's see. Yeah, it's got a base number. So I think the electrics were parallels. I've got a couple of those. I don't really know a lot about them off the top of my head, though. So, you know, linemen that are difference makers, I'm going to pick them up. Then we got an Upper Deck Black Diamond. I do like the Black Diamond. Super shiny. They got that eye appeal. Torrey Holt. Greatest show on turf. I sell a few Torrey Holt cards here and there. Let's see. What year is this? This is a 2000. So not his rookie year. I've sold a few of his rookies. It'll be curious to see if I can sell this one. with the eye appeal, I felt like that had a chance to go for, fans of the St. Louis Rams when they were there. If you're younger, you may not even know that the Rams were in St. Louis for a number of years. Kind of a similar play here with the 96 Pinnacle Terry Glenn. I've sold a few Terry Glenns to Patriots fans. I don't get a lot of them, but I like to have a couple out there. He is definitely a team favorite, team legend for the Patriots. Like to get a kicker now and then, so I got a 2018 Don Russ, Adam Vinatieri, kicking in a snowstorm in the white unis. It's almost like camouflage. Some nice Topps Chrome cards came up. So this is a Seahawks postseason highlights. Playoffs. Let's see. Playoffs. What card? I'm trying to see in the corner there what that says. Looking a little closer here. Playoffs wild card. Okay. So this must have been wild card weekend. You can see it's a refractor. Seahawks scored 22 unanswered points in the fourth to beat the Redskins, now the Commanders. Topps Chrome refractor, I'll buy that when it's in a quarter or a 10-cent box anytime. And then found another Topps Chrome. This one, OCU Minori. Not someone I would normally buy, but because it was Topps Chrome and I was able to get that at the right price, I went ahead and got that. This is also a little bit of a refractor. It doesn't pop as much as the last one, though. And then we're going to take a trip to Revis Island with a 2012 Crown Royal Field Force, Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis was the best corner in the league at one point. And whenever you had to go against him, you were on Revis Island because he was going to cover you one-on-one because he was so good. He didn't need any help. 2018, I believe, Stars of the NFL, Matthew Stafford from his Lions days. We've got some Jared Goff captains from Score. We've got setting aside some horizontal cards here to come back to. We've got a Score Peyton Manning, 2012 Score Peyton Manning with the Broncos jersey. We've got a Tampa Bay Buccaneers Brian Griese Rookies and Stars. I think this is a green longevity parallel. As you can see, it is serial numbered out of 150. Brian Griese, I don't think he has a lot of hobby, but he has some. And of course, his dad was great college and pro player as well. Then we got another one of these Frank Fleer Gaudet cards. And this was Curtis Martin, but it was the Gale Sayers Says insert for it, which I think is really cool. You've got two players that have a little bit of pop. Gale Sayers, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time. And then you have a team great in Curtis Martin, who went on to have some fantastic seasons with the Jets as well. Another Gale Sayers Says that Frank Fleer insert set, Junior Seau. We've got a Deion Sanders Fleer Ultra Award winner from his days with the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm going to switch out my stack. It's getting closer to the camera. Makes it a little bit harder to get the full image in there. This is an Upper Deck Jerome Bettis Star Rookie, I believe. Yeah, Star Rookie. Just sold one of these maybe a week ago. So when I saw one, heck yeah, I'm going to get another one. Why wouldn't another one sell? A little bit of a die cut Trent Dilfer here. Let's see. Premier Prospects. And that's from the SP set. Upper Deck SP, I believe. So you got kind of this early cracked ice type of finish. And it's die cut along the top. Love it. Oh, looks like I had a second Deion Sanders Award winner. So did a little bit of a volume play there. We got a wild card Field Force. Ricky Waters from his 49ers day. Also had some fantastic years with the Seattle Seahawks. Speaking of the Seattle Seahawks, we've got a Topps. Let's see, what's this from? 2013 Topps Magical. Oh, Super Magic. Topps Magic card. On the back side, so this is a Steve Largent card. On the back side, it talks about magical memoranda. 7-time Pro Bowler, first Seahawk ever to be invited, twice led the NFL in yards receiving. Pretty. What? There's a joke on here too, I think. Oh, it's not a joke. It says, "What did a maternity ward nurse put in Steve's crib right after his birth?" And I don't know where the answer is, to be honest with you. I'm looking at this going, where the heck is it? Maybe you need to have the next card in the set. Maybe you need to have, oh, there it is. I found the answer. A toy football. So I guess we're supposed to infer that Steve Largent became a Hall of Fame receiver because a nurse put a toy football in his crib when he was born. Hey, let's try it. Let's see if it works. Kind of a canvasy type print on this. It's a little grainy, kind of a throwback look. Anyway, I bought it for the name. Steve Largent, Hall of Famer. If I can get that cheap, I'm going to buy it. Another 93 playoff rookies, this time Rick Meyer again. So I guess it was Rick Meyer's day for me at the card show. Then we got some horizontal cards. Hey, we got the real Crown Royal here, the die cuts. We got a Jeff Blake. Love these die cut Crown Royals. One of my favorites. We got a 96 Pinnacle Jay Novacek with kind of what we would call today the laser parallel. But that was kind of the base set back then in 96, right? Like we didn't consider that a parallel. Then I got some of these score signal callers. They got this little hollow finish to them. A little bit of refractor finish on them. So we got a Drew Brees. We got a Jared Goff. And then I got a Matthew Stafford score celebration insert. Sold a few of those. So I was happy to pick that up for 10 cents, I believe. Can't go wrong with that. So we are a little past the halfway point on football. I've talked before about how much I love Topps Gold. I think this is just the class 1. But we got a Marvin Harrison gold label, Topps Gold label. If I look at the back, does it tell me which class? Yep, that's class 1. But you can see their refractor finish or hollow finish, whatever you want to call them. I pick them up whenever I see them. I don't see a ton of them, so that tells you something. But Marvin Harrison, fantastic receiver. His son now coming out of college, looks to be another great receiver. Got a Cordell Stewart die cut, playoff X's and O's. Wasn't done with Garrison Hurst yet. I believe this is a 94 Select, Pinnacle Select, Future Force, Garrison Hurst. Little bit reminds me of the new Topps baseball set, the flagship set. They've got their Stars of the NFL insert set. That finish kind of looks like that to me. All right, then we're back to Pacific Crown Royal. And this is an insert set. I'm trying to see what's the name of this insert set. Because the number is GC8. So I can't figure out what the name was for the insert set. But it is the die cut. You can see the crown up on top, and it's the vertical one, not the horizontal one. Let's see here. Then we're back to Upper Deck, and we've got a Joe Theismann Premier Prospect SP. I believe that's an insert. So again, that nice little finish they did on those. Kind of a quasi foil. It doesn't feel like the whole card is foil. It might be though. And then the image is kind of overlaid over the top. It almost looks like a sticker on there. Joe Theismann, fantastic player as well. Long media career after his playing days. Did some time on Monday Night Football. Pinnacle, 95 Pinnacle. Scott Mitchell, nice finish on that as well. I spent a lot of time. So when I was in my early days of college, I lived in Marinette, Wisconsin, which is right on the border, across the river from Menominee, Michigan. And I worked as a meat cutter, believe it or not, in college. And in the meat room, we'd always have the radio on, and I often had to work Saturdays and Sundays. So I'd be working on Sunday during the games. And it was always a battle on the radio since we were so close to the border. Are we listening to the Lions game or the Packers game? So I did listen to a lot of Scott Mitchell play over those years as well. This is a Topps. Let's see. This is a 95 or 96 Topps. It looks like a Topps Finest, but I don't see the Finest logo on there anywhere. Herman Moore. Very, very cool design on that. I would swear that's a Topps Finest, but it looks to not be. I don't see anything on it that tells me what set this was from. I'm going to have to research that a little bit. Licensed by NFL Quarterbacks Club, Topps Company. Yeah, there's nothing on it that says anything but Topps. But it's a Chrome card. So it could be Topps Chrome, could be Topps Finest. Then we got an Upper Deck. We're back to Upper Deck. We got a Curtis Martin die cut. Team Trio. Why do they call it Team Trio? That I don't know. It's not like there's 3 different images on there or anything. But I like the die cuts. I pick those up all the time. We had one of these earlier. Pinnacle, 96 Pinnacle. Daryl Johnston. So I got a couple Dallas Cowboys tight ends today. Again, with the early days of like a laser parallel. Grabbed a couple of these 96 rookies in this set. Collector's Edge 96. This looks to be serial numbered as well. So they're kind of these blue acetate cards. They've got that acetate feel to them, but they're solid blue, kind of that patchwork design. If I flip it over though, you will see this 1531 up here. And I've got another one. The next one you're going to see says 632 on the back. So this one was Eric Moulds, and then I have Amani Toomer as well. Advantage, Collector's Edge, Advantage Football, 96 rookies. So yeah, I'll take those rookies any day of the week, right? Then I've got another Advantage, and this one is an acetate, serial numbered out of 5,000. So that looks like film footage. You can see the old 35 millimeter strip behind him. Carolina Panthers. I'm not sure if this is his rookie year or not. 96, right? I think that was his rookie year. If I flip it over, you will see up here the serial number out of 5,000. So again, not bad for those days of heavy printing numbers. Certainly not going to break the bank with that. But I think there's going to be a Carolina Panthers fan or a Kerry Collins fan that's going to want that. Another Kerry Collins. This is a role models insert from that Advantage set. Also serial numbered, so you'll see the 7370 out of there. Die cut. A nice foil finish on there as well. Kind of got these swirled sides. Some more serial numbered. I believe these are serial numbers. I'm not sure what they're out of. These are 95 Classic, and they look like a ticket. Pro Line Classic. These are Pro Bowl cards, and you can see at the top and the bottom, there's like a number. You know what, though? It's the same number on both cards, so I'm going to say that's not serial numbered. That's the card design. It's supposed to mimic like a 50-50 ticket. Not sure who decided to go with that style, because there was the Andre Reed. Here's the Bruce Smith as well, and it's the same number, 250392. So that is just a design print on there. But again, die cut. You got the little notches on each end. It is a Pro Bowl insert set. You can see PB2 there. Doesn't stand for peanut butter. So a couple of nice cards there. More Pinnacle 96. Kevin Green. I got this for one reason and one reason only. If you remember Kevin Green, you remember the Golden Locks. His days with Pittsburgh, his days with Carolina, and he even had some years with the Green Bay Packers here in Green Bay as a player and a coach. But just the iconic long blonde hair made me buy that one. We had some of these earlier. This is that Upper Deck, I believe SP as well. Let's see. This says this badge. It's another one of those recessed badge. Upper Deck NFL Talent SP98 Extreme. Again, serial numbered on the back. This one out of 7,200. So did pretty well in getting serial numbered cards out of those dime boxes and quarter boxes. Let's see. Another Drew Bledsoe coming at you. 95 Flair, hot numbers. New England Patriots, Drew Bledsoe. I like the hot numbers. I think they're pretty cool. I'm also a fan of the Flair cards. They're a little bit thicker. They're glossy. I think the quality is nice on them. Yeah, they were printed a lot, but hey, what are you going to do? Here's another one of those hot numbers. This one's Steve Young, San Francisco 49ers. I recently sold an Elvis Grbac card. So when I saw this 93 Pro set, which is from some type of insert set, rookie quarterbacks, I got another Elvis Grbac card from the 49ers. And this one has the cracked ice finish that we talk about today from Panini. Then we got a Topps Finest Packers card. We've got... And it looks like this was a special Green Bay Packers set because the number is GB. Oh, no, it's a number 8. It just says GBRB. So Topps Finest, nice green team color card. I will probably find a buyer right here in Green Bay. And then I got another Dorsey Levens card. I think this is a 98. Let me look at this a little closer. 99. Another Topps Finest. We got that kind of laser etched design on that year's set. I see a lot of those. So because I'm in Green Bay, I do pick up some Green Bay cards if they're the right price. We tend to see them overpriced a little bit because of the hometown, passion for the Packers. But when I can get them for a quarter or 10 cents, the right players, I will grab them. Let's do a few horizontal cards here. I do like this set. What is this, like 95 Flair? Yeah, 95 Flair. We got a Curtis Martin there. Just really like the artistry of this set. It's got a nice finish. Again, it's kind of shiny. Heck, they make spray paint to look like this. It's like a speckled finish. We got a Ryan Leaf Upper Deck Future Shock here. What year is this? 1998 Ryan Leaf Future Shock from the San Diego Quarterbacks. Much maligned Ryan Leaf. This next card I bought just because of where the image is from. It is from Super Bowl 34, I believe. And the player is Kevin Dyson. So this is an Upper Deck Masterpieces. So it's got that canvas-like texture to it. This is from, what did we say, Super Bowl 34. This is the last play of the game, I believe. If I recall watching this one, Kevin Dyson is stretching out on the last play of the game, trying to reach that goal line and score a game-winning touchdown. But he is stopped just short, and they captured that forever in this card. So there are going to be both fans of the Titans and fans of the Rams here that are going to be interested in this card to think about the nostalgia of that moment. So then we're going to go back to some 96 Pacific Crown Royal. We got an Eric Moulds, and these are the die cuts. We got a Terry Glenn. We got a silver Scott Mitchell. So I guess it was Scott Mitchell's day for me as well. I don't buy a lot of Scott Mitchell, but I got a couple at this show. All right, we're getting down to the last stack here. We've got a Panini Zenith Garrett Mitchell rookie card. I think this kid's got a lot to show yet, but he's got the talent. It's a chance he could become, kind of a perennial Pro Bowler type player. We got a Jared Goff Epics. We got another Steve Largent. This is a 2016 Don Russ. We've got a 2019 Press Proof Red Marcus Mariota. I recently sold one of these Panini Contenders inserts. Different players on it, but the fact that I sold this insert with the dual images on it told me that there might be more of a market. So this is a 2013 Contenders touchdown tandems. This one is Tony Romo and Dez Bryant. Of course, those Dallas Cowboys have a big market, so to me it was a pretty safe buy out of a quarter or a dime box. We got JJ Watt Captain Series, a huge JJ Watt house here. Of course, Wisconsin's own from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. What do we got here? We got a Panini Chronicles Gridiron Kings Jahan Dotson rookie card. We got a Playbook X's and O's Josh Allen. Not the cornerback Josh Allen, the quarterback Josh Allen. I gave one of my sons, I gave a list one time, and I was like, oh, grab any cards you see for these players. And of course, Josh Allen was on that list at the time, and he came back with a bunch of cornerback Josh Allen cards. So we had to have a discussion about the right Josh Allen. We've got a 2014 Topps Finest Brandon Cooks rookie card. Nice to see a Brandon Cooks rookie card in a value box out there. We've got a Stephon Diggs Panini Chronicles Magnitude Acetate card. So this is one of the pure clear acetate cards, so you can see Brandon Cooks behind him actually. So again, we look to try and specialize in acetate and die cuts here and really build those up. This next one is kind of cool. I hadn't seen this one before. A 96 Fleer Metal Jeff Blake freshly forged, again an acetate card. So you can see clear all the way through. There's some clear spots on the top and on the bottom and on the side. Jeff Blake did not have a superstar-like career for the Bengals, but certainly had some productive years, and I think there'll be a Cincinnati Bengals fan that will be interested in that card. We got a J.K. Dobbins rookie card from Panini. That might have been out of the Chronicles set. Let me see. Let me look at the back. Yep, 2020 Panini Chronicles, Panini Football, which I always thought was kind of weird. There's Panini. But unfortunately, he tore his Achilles this last year, I believe, and missed the year. But he's going to be back, and the jury's still out on J.K. Dobbins. He was a talented player. If he can recover nicely, I think that'll be a sneaky play. Then I got my man Brett Favre, 2013 Topps Brett Favre, the old green borders there. And I got this purely because I don't think I had any cards of his Minnesota Vikings season. I should say seasons. Everything I have is a Green Bay Packers one because that's how I finally remember him. So I really need to get some Vikings and Jets cards for him. So when I saw this one, I picked it up. We got a Donruss Elite Josh Allen. We've got a Rashee Rice Potential from Score from his SMU Mustangs days. So he had a great rookie season. So I was willing to invest a little bit more in him. We got some more J.K. Dobbins rookie absolute, and that might be a red foil parallel. I'll have to double check more on that one. We got a Henry Ellard electric upper deck. Henry Ellard, great Hall of Fame receiver for the Rams. We've got a Bernie Kosar sighting. We've got a Pro Line card, quarterback gold, Bernie Kosar. I would expect that to be from his Browns days. Let's take a look. Bernie Kosar, Browns, 1992 Pro Line collection. Haven't really seen that before. I see a lot of Pro Line cards. Hadn't seen one from that particular insert or set, so I'll go ahead and pick that up. We are back to linemen. This is a 2002 Topps Bowman Chrome. Now, I believe, let's see. Yeah, this is a reprint card because it's 2002 of Randy McMichael's 91 Topps or Bowman Chrome rookie card. Still cool though. Like we said before, if you can't get the rookie card, this is not a bad second fiddle. And you can get it cheap. You can have a nice looking card representing that player's rookie year. And maybe that spurs you on to say, I want the actual rookie now. We got a 2023 Panini Prestige for the record insert with Justin Tucker. 37 field goals in 2022. Still on a quest to get more kickers. We got a wild card 5 stripe coming up next. A 1992 wild card 5 stripe. Eric Swan. One of the few defensive players I get here and there. Then we got a 10 stripe from 92. We've got Rob. I want to score more from his Eagles days. Oh, not Eagles, Jets. From his Jets days. We've got a 96 Pacific Crown Royal, Cordell Stewart with the die cut. Always better with the die cut. We saw that card earlier that was Panini Crown Royal version, and they didn't do the die cut, and it's just not the same. We've got another rookie, Garrison Hurst, pick 3, round 1. That's from 93-94 Skybox. We've got a 2021 Panini Contenders Power Players insert for Warren Sapp. Mentioned Warren Sapp earlier, that he's one of those defenders I do like to get now and then. Then we scored a few more acetate cards. 2021 Panini Illusions Clear Shots. We got a Saquon Barkley there. And then from the same set, we've got a James Harrison, defensive player for the Steelers. We've got another 2023 Panini Prestige for the record insert. Another kicker, Adam Vinatieri. And then we've got another 1991 score. This is from the Dream Team insert set. Kind of an iconic card, I think. There's plenty of them around there. It's not super rare. It is a shirtless Kirby Puckett flexing with the bat there. I know there will be Minnesota Twins fans that are still looking to get a copy of this card. I don't think everybody's got one yet. And there's always a new generation of Twins fans that are aware of the history of the Minnesota Twins and we'll be looking for that as well. So we got just a couple left here in the football category. A couple horizontals I'll flip over here. First, we've got a 2014 Panini Rookies and Stars Crusade, and this is one of the better Crusade sets, in my opinion. You've got the shiny finish there with the gold scales in the back. You've got the traditional lions, kind of like Family Crusts always have, right? And it is a Devonta Freeman rookie card. Devonta Freeman, not the greatest player to go after, but it is a rookie card, and a rookie card is worth a little something, right? And then we've got a 96 Pacific Crown Royal again. Another Cordell Stewart. Seem to find a lot of Cordell Stewart cards. Slash was an exciting player in my day, I'll tell you that. And then I thought this was interesting. This is a pack of 3 cards from 1994 Fleer, unopened. You can see it's still sealed on each end. This was a redemption part of a rookies insert set, I believe. Cards 1 through 12 were inserts in the 94 Fleer set. And then there were some redemption cards that you would send in for these last 3, 13, 14, and 15. And 13 and 14 and 15 are all Jerome Bettis. I did a little research on this. I was able to determine that keeping these in this cello pack are not going to do anything for the values. So I just opened these up to get a better look at these 3 cards. So we do have 3 cards there. Let's see. So this first one is number 13. So we've got the Rookie of the Year, Jerome Bettis. Oh, they feel like they've been in a cello pack for years. This one's a little iconic. We got number 14, Rookie of the Year, Bettis. The Rams just sitting on a stoop or something. Probably sitting on a helmet, and they photoshopped that out just in his workout gear. And then we have card number 15, Rookie of the Year, Jerome Bettis, 36. The Bus probably just scored a touchdown. He is ready to score another one. He was a fun player. He had the personality. He had the talent. Just jump on the bus. He'll take you where you want to go. I love the little gold inlay down here in the corner. Really nice touch on that. So that is all of our football cards. Hopefully, when I upload this video for you, we'll be able to set some chapters on it so you know where the football is and all the other sports are. So you can jump around if you like, and if you prefer not to watch it all the way through. So we're almost an hour 25 in. I'm going to take a quick little break here. I guess before we do that, we better go back to the picker wheel. We have baseball, basketball, and Star Wars left. What are we going to do next? Oh, picker wheel, where are we going next? Let's see what they have to say. And it looks like we are going basketball next. Fairly small stack of basketball. Shouldn't take us too long to go through that. So we will go through that when we come back right after this.